there, it's Kevin with the Rogue Market here with May 22nd's review of the sales that can be had at the distributor level. So all of these are good until the end of the week, meaning Friday is the last time I'm able to order these at these prices. Sometimes they do roll over to the next week, and in this video I'm not going to talk about the ones that did roll over from last week. I did cover that in a video that I did last week for the Market Monday over on my Rogue Deck Builder channel. So this video is more geared towards patrons because if you are a patron, you can take advantage of these sales. However, I think that the information included in this video will be helpful because the market is going to move with these sales. So it's not just one distributor, many distributors are having these at a discount because Wizards of the Coast is going to be running a tournament on June 2nd through June 4th. Well, quote unquote running a tournament. They're shifting the burden over to the game stores to really decide how that tournament runs and promoting it and yada 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 yada. If you want to hear my rant video about that, I ranted about it on the Gone Rogue Game channel today as well as on the Rogue Deck Builder channel for Market Monday, so you can go and watch those. However, this one I'm just going to go over the kind of the price points for these and talk whether or not I think these are good deals. Again, I'm not going to go over the sales that happened last week. The current ones you can get. I have this the sheets that I run for all my patrons that show the current pricing of products at the distribution level. You can see that booster boxes out the door cost about $97 for draft boosters, and set boosters are down at like, what are they nowadays? They're expensive. They're like $103 for set boosters. So this is out the door with all the fees paid and everything else. So this week we are continuing the sale with Dominator United at $69, Baldur's Gate, New Capenna, and then Crimson Vow still at $63. The one product that did fall off was Midnight Hunt. That was purchased completely out. I think the Midnight Hunt had a good price point because they have a ton of rares and uncommons and even commons that are above par, what you get from most sets. We're saying like $5 rares or $1 or $2 uncommons / commons. And so I think that was just a good product to buy at the $69 price, as it is going to stick around again for another year with standard not rotating. So I think some store stocked up and whatnot, or people just broke them down for the singles. So these ones I did talk about last week on the Market Money channel. You can go and see that video for the review of these products. I think they're pretty okay. It's decent prices again at $69. It's not the greatest discount for some of these. I don't know. It actually is with this new Dominator, because you can see the price jump point from 87 to 97. This is when Wizards up their pricing. It started with Dominator United. It's about another $10 at the distribution level of what stores are paying compared to what they used to pay at $87 for the draft boosters. So I have all the pricings, what's available that I can purchase them for at the moment. A lot of these older sets aren't the greatest deal because they're very similar to like what you can get them off of like eBay or TCG Player. However, there are some juicy stuffs with this week with the aforementioned Commander tournament that's supposed to be running. So it's been discounted for like $10 for most of the Commander decks, and I think Commander decks are. I was actually researching this. I'm like, these have got to be dead. And I'm thinking, really, this era, like the Innistrad Midnight Hunt and the Crimson Vow Commanders, man, those were some stinkers. Those have no value in them. But I was actually pleasantly surprised to see that some of these Commander decks actually have quite a bit of value, and they were starting to trend up. So getting them in at a discount, I think, is one of the better buys that we've had in a while for Magic the Gathering products. I think, as I've said in other videos recently, that is the new norm. What you want to be doing for Magic the Gathering is not pre-ordering stuff. I would wait for sales. That's the time to get into things. Let Wizards continue to hang themselves and overprint stuff, and then get in when they have to blow it out and do these little gimmicky tournaments to try and incentivize sales. So I talked about distributors are receiving thousands of these. I know in the scope of things that might not sound that much, but to me, I just received, go over and check out the Rogue Deck Builder channel. I think it's on mainly the Gone Rogue Games, where I received 100 Baldur's Gate Commander decks. And you're like, 100, that's not that much. It was 500 pounds of massive boxes for Baldur's Gate. So I can only imagine like the warehousing that it's been taking for Wizards of the Coast to actually store these. But I'm starting to get into a little bit of a rant video here, and I'll ramble and ramble and ramble. I want these videos to be more concise and to the point and just give you kind of the numbers here. So let's get back into the point of this video. So the first product I want to talk about is the Commander's Baldur's Gate. So if you look at TCG Player, it's been trending up in the last few months here, all the way down from 141 to 158 for the set of Commander Legends Baldur's Gate. After like fees and shipping, these suckers are really, really difficult to ship, and so you're gonna get killed out the door if you're gonna go from these price points, even buying them at 105. So you buy at 105, it takes whatever it takes me to ship them to you, and then you to ship them to the customer if that's your kind of way you're going about them. I don't think that's like the best way to do so. What I think is better with this one is you can see that there is actually quite a bit of value in the commander decks. Now, my last video I was wrong because I thought that they could include certain cards, like these Baldur's Gates and Dominator United especially. I was wrong about what it could contain in them because they have like these quote-unquote commander cards that don't actually exist in the commander decks. They're part of like the set boosters is the only way to get them. But if you actually look over the deck list of the Baldur's Gate, you have a $28 card here with the black market connections. And then you have a $10 card in the Mutavault. So this one's really good, this party time. You make your money back right there because if you divide 105 by 4, you're looking at what, $26 roughly for a per commander deck. And then after that, so if you make it back on the black market connections, the Mutavault is basically, just there's your profit margins right here. And same thing, the War Room. That's a card that does have a decent buy list, as well as at that point it is profitable to like sell those on like TCG Player or eBay even after the fees. If we go over here to like the Exit from Exile, you have another $12 card in here. This one's not too nifty with the Jeskai Will and actually it is pretty good. Passion Archaeologist and Jeskai Will and a Delayed Fire Blast. So good stuff. Good stuff included in these decks. You get down to the other ones, and they do start to fall off a little bit. There's nothing too snazzy in this one, just a Propaganda at $5 and an Astral Dragon at $5 too. So this is where you lose the money out on this one. And the Mind Flayer is pretty subpar too. You have the Herald's Horn, and you do have the Hullbreaker Horror. I'm actually surprised this card has been able to see this price. Let me kind of zoom this in. Oops, that zoomed in way too much here. But Hullbreaker Horror has been reprinted so many times, and it's actually currently in the Arena Starter Kits that you can actually get for like $5. So the Arena Starter Kits actually have a $5 card in them right now in the form of the Hullbreaker Horror, which is crazy to me that it continues to go up. That isn't a video for another day because I think there's some arbitrage available right now in the what do they call them? The Arena Starter Kits. I just mentioned it. Now I lost my train of thought. So again, a video for another day for breaking those sucker down. It looks like there's some Lightning Greaves in some of these. Man, they're not too shabby. I think the Baldur's Gates, you definitely do get your money back for just even cards above the $5 range. So this one's a really good buy at that point. I'm not sure how much more the distributor let me buy because I did, like I said, purchase over 100 of these last week. And so a lot of the inventory has gone to me. So let's go into the Phyrexian All Will Be One Commander deck. This also has been trending up. It bottomed out at $70. It's back up to $81. It looks like the purchasing history is pretty meh. It's like one per day for these suckers, so there isn't a lot of demand for these Phyrexia. And again, these ones are kind of okay if you break them down in the singles. You have the Staff of the Storyteller at $7, as well as the Flawless Maneuver. Have to give a big warning about some of these cards though, because I do believe cards like Flawless Maneuver is going to be in Commander Masters, and it's just going to absolutely eviscerate these prices, as Commander Masters is going to be, in my opinion, a very heavily printed master set, on the same par as like Commander Legends 1, I would say, and they're just going to print that sucker. We have Norn's Choir Master, which isn't bad. And one other thing that I forgot to mention too with Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate, you do get a mini collector's pack. It's like a rare or a mythic from the set. They can be, I actually think there's a certain amount of slots that it can be in there. And you can actually get some juicy stuff in these mini collector packs, these sample collector packs that I believe are also in Dominator United. So let's actually just talk about Dominator United here. Dominator United has also been trending up, but the price point's not that great. This is per set, by the way, not per, if you actually buy them 105, you're getting 2 sets of this. I can sell them in a set of 2 for $55 because I just figure, I have to break them down and that takes time. So that's going to be the $5 there to make up for it. But anyway, Dominator United is trending upwards, which is a good sign for this product. Man, Magic the Gathering market continues to surprise me. I'm starting to think though that the stores are getting killed so much that they're not even bothering, and that's why they're going up. It's like stores like, we're not even going to post these suckers up here anymore. Let's just let the people that want to sell these, and that's what we've seen it go from the low of $69 all the way up to $75. And again, Dominator United, there is some good stuff in here, like the Reaver Cleaver at $13, They have an $8.50 Shizo's Death Storehouse. Again, they did surprise me because I was just assuming they're going to be very similar to the Crimson Vow and Midnight Hunt, where there's literally no value in those commander decks, and these actually seem to have some decent ones here and there for these commander sets. Keep in mind though, you do get a lot if you have to buy in the fours. You do get a lot. You get duplicates of all of these suckers, so might be a little bit more difficult to move in high quantities. Now we go over to the Streets of New Capenna. Streets of New Capenna is another interesting one because it has been trending up from its low, and this one does have some pretty decent cards in it as well. These are supposed to be the better commander sets of the year, so they got rid of like the dated commanders. So if you remember, they changed that with like Ikoria. Ikoria was supposed to be Commander 2020, and it was just Ikoria Commander. So now they're releasing it for every set. They have what they consider more the introductory commander decks, which is going to be Dominaria, Phyrexia, All We've Won, Brothers War, and then they have their main ones. They always come in sets of 2, so 2 sets of 2, and then their main release, which they do with the summer set at that point, I think it is, and they come in just sets of 4s or 5 decks in this. So you get 5 decks out of the Streets of New Capenna, and these ones are supposed to be higher caliber, but I actually don't even know if they have much more value in them now that looking at them. They're supposed to have a higher budget. I know they're supposed to sell for more than the other decks, but you do have some $10 cards scattered about in this, and I think that maybe breaking them down might be a fruitful endeavor. Actually, looking at these, they're not the greatest for the Streets of New Capenna. So if I were to give like analysis, we have one more actually, the Kamigawa. Kamigawa, I think, is another stinker one though. I think this is kind of on the back end of like the Crimson Vow. This one seems okay with Rhythm of Wild, Bear Umbra. Yeah, this other one though too, not the greatest. Not a lot of cards over $5. You have the Flagship that is seeing a lot of Pioneer play, so that's really been helping it. But all in all, yeah, not a lot of too crazy stuff here in the mix for Kamigawa. So if I were to give like the one that I think is the best buy, it'd definitely be Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate, especially coming with that other potential hit you can get in the collector's pack that's in those, that's really where the better buy is. So last but not least, these do have pretty decent buy list price. I'm just looking at the Phyrexian All-in-One Commander, and if you were to add it up from what you would get from buy listing these cards, if you get 2 of these each from buying it in the sets, so you get $12 from concealments, $12 from floss, maybe you're up to $25 or $24 there. You get another $11, you're up to $33. It starts to really fall off after there, so you probably don't make your money back by buy listing it to Card Kingdom. But I don't know. Now we're starting to catch back up with a bunch of $2. $1.60. It seems like they actually do want quite a few of these. It'd be interesting just to add all these up to see what it would be. I'm not going to take the time and do it today, but there might be, some good arbitrage with some of these where you just, crack them all open and, buy list them to Card Kingdom and take whatever is left over as the profit, rinse and repeat. It's a lot of labor, and speaking from experience of doing this, you'll be basically paying yourself less than minimum wage. But sometimes you actually can make some pretty decent profit margins on these suckers. So anyway, there you have it for the sales for this week. Again, this will be a link. I always have this commonly ordered items linked in on the Discord channel as well as on Patreon if you're interested in all of the prices that can currently be had. I try to keep this up to date. Sometimes there aren't some particular products in stock at the moment, and sometimes prices are a little bit wonky because I typically go by the highest distributor availability for pricing, and sometimes I have to use alternate distributors that might be a little more or even a little more, a little less for the pricing. But one of the things I do for patrons, you can buy like single booster packs if you're just looking to do chaos drafts. We actually have drops for different tiers. There's some good stuff that end up on here. So like Warhammer Commander displays, Theros Beyond Death collectors boxes. Typically the stuff that isn't so that is limited from distributors that I don't have, X amount. I just have I do have X amount. They typically go there up here on the drop. So be sure to check this one out if you're looking for other deals that do save you. Like I do have the savings you'll get from TCG Player compared to if you get them from the drops. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. If you, like I said, if you are a patron, I hope you found it still valuable. There will be a lot of these dumped on the market. It's a bunch of local game stores. Wizard of the Coast is supposed to be sending Strixhaven to all the participating stores, but I still haven't figured out how they're doing that. So it's like they're sending two displays of Strixhaven Commander decks to incentivize running this tournament. You're supposed to give out like a Strixhaven Commander as the prize for the winner of a pod, which is just, again, they made this tournament just so half-assed. It's like, here's what we want you to do, but we're not gonna really support it by, blasting it out there and telling people about it, or really doing anything else by it. Here, just have these commander decks that we're having trouble moving, and here's your incentive, buy a little bit cheaper and have some Strixhaven. I'd rather have them like do a big event, big celebration with this, and maybe have it lead up to Commander Masters, really celebrate it, really pump it. I would think the buck stops with them to promote their own events that they want to have run, and they've just, everything Wizards of the Coast is just so half-assed. That company, the company just, it just drives me insane. From Arena, where we still don't even have a way to chat, really. We still don't have a way to do like deck techs to really display it out nicely. You'd think with so many people streaming that they have like a good, like almost a PowerPoint presentation of doing stuff. They still don't even have that. Just things that they could be doing is just, this company just makes me want to strangle them. They have this $1 billion, well, I don't know, whatever it's worth, but it's massively profitable, and they just half-ass everything. So I'm hoping for new leadership. I'm hoping for some changes in the air. But I mean, we can take advantage of this kind of mishap with Wizards of the Coast not running around with their head cut off with these dumps and other stuff. And it is I will give it to them. It's a little bit better for them to be going the local game store route than just the Amazon route with dumping Commander products on the market there. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. This has been Kevin with the Rogue Market. Thanks for watching.